Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for being here, wherever you're joining from. Always nice to see where people are from on the map. Today, I am back in the studio, as you can see, after last week's boat stream, which was a lot of fun. This morning, I almost did a live stream from a bicycle. And I decided to instead just do a stream after the bike ride. But I have already biked 25 miles this morning. Got up, started biking at 7. Got up at like 5. And I might have some video from that to show if I can get it off of all the little SD cards that are in all the little gadgets here. I brought a lot of cameras with me on the bike ride. It was a lot of fun. If you do have a question, drop it in the chat. Start with the letter Q. It filters it into a different column on my screen here. And I hope my chats are working, but I think something's wrong with my server this morning. Oh, okay. Hello from Vancouver. Great. Looks like maybe things are working. There was a problem this morning with the server, and that's how my chats work. And Airline Videos also emailed me because he noticed that his chats weren't working, so that's great. I think it's back. Hopefully it stays up. Anyway, welcome. Graham says, how is your hand after catching the drone? Fine. It was just a little, not even a bruise. It didn't even bruise. That was hilarious, though. I feel like that's worth sharing on this stream because that was too funny. I do, however, only have a Instagram version of it, and I'm trying to remember if my computer audio is routed through. Now it is. Yeah. Let's take a quick look. Help with the drone landing?
Sure, how can I assist?
I'm going to try to put it back down there where it started.
Sure.
And then as soon as you can, grab the little floaty. Okay, and then we got to be not moving. There we are.
We do have a wake coming, so I would...
Shoot. I don't have a lot of time. Wake in the back, I was like, oh crap. Okay, here we go. Just grab it now.
Okay, sorry. I thought I was going to take my fingers off. Are we all right?
That's why I said grab the floaty.
That was pure.
That worked. That was luck. Oh my gosh, that was chaos. That was complete chaos. Did you see just coming towards my hand? So learn some lessons from that. Not going to try that kind of landing again. So the problem was that the front of the boat is like this, so there wasn't even a flat surface. And I was really worried what was going to happen if I touched down. And as I started getting closer, I was like, I went into a little panic and I was like, okay, just grab it instead of landing. And I did not communicate that enough. And I did not communicate that fast enough. So then as soon as he touched it, it just went straight for me. Thankfully, I caught it before it flew out the other side of the boat. Yeah. It's painful even watching the video. I know, I hadn't even seen that video until after. Oh, sorry about the echo. No, it's not the computer audio twice. It was probably the microphone picking up the computer. Because I didn't mute my mic when I was playing the video. I should have done that. Anyway. That was an adventure. Matt says, I've done a lot of drone work on a lake. I was trying to tell you, takeoff is easy. It's landing that's hard. Yeah. So I realized later that I should have just landed on the top of the boat because there was a cover that was reasonably flat surface. And even if I didn't actually land it, I could have myself grabbed it from there and it would have been easier than trying to get it into the narrow little front of the boat. Other plan next time I do this is go, because I was able to get, once we stopped moving, I was able to pretty accurately fly towards the center into the boat. And if there was no people in the way, I should have just flown it into the boat so that it was under the cover. And once it's in the boat, then I could have landed it on the floor or just like crash landed it on the floor, and that would have been better. So now I know for next time. Yeah, there was an opening in the canopy, so I should have just like stood up in that opening and caught it from above the boat. Oh well. Yeah, that was an adventure. So okay, so this morning almost did the bike ride live stream, but I decided to just get some drone videos of it instead. I have not edited these down at all, so these are these are just raw straight off of the drone. I just dumped them 10 minutes ago. I got back like 30 minutes ago. Gwen says, is 10 the new time? No, so 10 is the old time. It's been a long time. But the reason I started at 10 today is because I was riding my bike until about 9:20 or so. And that's when I got home. And I knew I wasn't able to get home early enough before 9 to start at 9. So I pushed it back. But yeah, I was biking from like 7 to like over 2 hours. But yeah, let me put some of the videos up while I'm talking. This was the start of the ride. So this morning we started on the Fremont Bridge, so everyone just biked up there and then like hung out for an hour or so. They had some food, they had some coffee, and oh, the other drone is turning off. That was the start of the ride, and then I did not get a video of the ride leaving because I actually went out in front and took off with everyone else. There was another drone flying around, and I don't think he was following all the rules. But he did get an amazing shot. He actually flew under the bridge to ahead of the start of the ride, which I think maybe if you stretch it, can justify that it's legal, because he wasn't over anybody then. But he got a good photo of what I assume is a good photo. I haven't seen it, but basically everyone's lined up on this bridge, and he was right at the front looking down through the bridge. So I want to see that photo. I hope I can find it wherever it ends up getting posted. Yeah, so this was me trying to be away from all the people, flying just over the water where there was no people around. And it started getting more crowded. That was like right at the beginning, and then the food line started getting really long. But this was yeah, this was the start. This was like 6:30 this morning. And yeah, so the deal with the bridge pedal is they closed down a bunch of the bridges, in particular the highway bridges that normally don't have any bike lanes at all. So you normally can't even bike up on this top platform at all. And it was completely closed to cars. And they have this route planned throughout the whole city where you go do a bunch of loops across these bridges that you normally can't ride across, which is really cool. And it is a lot of fun, I will say, to be on these car-sized lanes and pretty steep hills on a bicycle with a bunch of other bicycles, and no cars around at all. So yeah, this was oh, now you can see it's getting more crowded. This was closer to 7. Yeah, getting a lot busier. And then the other bridge, so I did some drone flights here. There's apparently a lot of drone flights there. That was the very front of the ride. So imagine that the other guy flew a drone like past that red car, which was pretty cool. And then let's see. So this was another spot where I took the drone up, because I saw there was an off ramp that nobody was biking on. So I was just over the off ramp. There it is. This didn't come out quite as good as I was hoping it would. I think people were going too fast, so they're a little bit too spread out. But it's still pretty cool to see bikes on the highway. And let's see. That's coming right down off of that bridge. Where was the next spot that I stopped? The next spot was, like I said, these are very unedited. Here's the other highway bridge, which you can see how people definitely enjoy stopping at the top and taking pictures, which is pretty cool. It's just very fun to be up there. I think you can see me in this shot, actually. I have a white helmet and a blue shirt. No, I don't see me. I must be right off the bottom left of that frame. Pretty fun. Pretty fun. Oh yeah, there I am. So that was my drone shots, and then I've got the the other drone that I have been playing with is this little guy, and I got this remote ID module for it, which is just Velcro to the top, because with this it broadcasts the location, and that means it's actually legal to fly over people because it is enclosed propellers and broadcast remote ID. So I did not actually fly it over people, but I've been testing this out to see what it would take to get a drone that can fly over people. That one, unfortunately, I have to download the clips onto my phone first. Let's see if I can do that while we're chatting. Let me scroll back through the chat here. Current mode. Zoom out. It's very loud. It wants to be very helpful. Okay. Adam says, I'm sort of missing the rack and the multi-view background of your shot. Yeah, I miss having the rack in the shot too. I don't know. I don't have a good solution for it because it turns out having access to the back of the rack is really useful. And if the back of the rack is against the wall, I don't have access to it. But I can switch that to the multi-view now that the map is full. So at least you can see the multi-view now. Let me download these. Hopefully these work. Matt says, glad you moved it just this week as Curtis Judd is on vacation, so I didn't have to choose. Oh yeah. That's the other advantage of me starting earlier at the 9 o'clock time, is that it less chance of overlapping with Curtis. John says, before you got off the boat, did you have a chance to test out the built-in 12-volt powers on the boat? Yeah. So it turns out, so we did try it. There was a 12-volt outlet on the boat. It did not have any power coming out of it. I don't know why. So I guess good that we didn't. We did, in fact, have to go home and get a better power supply for that. Okay, here's my, see if I can airdrop it to the other iPad. Like this review says, aux out from your ATEM for me. Constellation is ISO recorded on an ISO switcher, so you don't record the audio from the related input to 4ME. You can do audio channel mapping for hyperdeck recording. Was this a question? Oh. So, yeah. So the way that the constellations work is, or at least the constellation 4ME and the 2ME, the audio out of all the SDI ports is the same. It's like the program mix of the ATEM. And that means that if you're doing ISO recordings of cameras, you don't get ISO audio. So if you did want ISO audio, you have to route it differently. So this is one of the reasons that I set up the video hub matrix in the way that I did, and connected some things into the video hub first, some things directly into the ATEM, because on the video hub, it does route the audio separately out of all the SDI ports. So I can send, if things go into the video hub, I can send a copy to the hyperdecks to record ISO audio for those. Or the other option is well, it depends on what your sources are, I guess. But if you can feed your sources directly into the hyperdecks first, before they even get into the ATEM, you can do it that way. Airdrop failed. Come on. Garden Fergal says, I'm local to you and help produce a live stream every week for addicted fishing. And we struggle with doing live streams on the water while fishing this time of year. Can you help? That sounds like fun. Yeah, live streams on the water. We did that last week. We could chat. Yep. Maybe we can figure out a way to do a behind the scenes video of setting up your streams or something. I saw your question from earlier. It looked like you recommended a 4G modem versus 5G. Do you find it works better? Ever since we switched to 5G, live streams from our phones have gotten worse. So I did actually end up using a 5G modem on the boat. I just had two different ones. The GL iNet I got, that's the one with like 6 antennas on it. I got that one because it has better Wi-Fi performance, and I wanted to, because I was doing like Wi-Fi camera from a phone camera as one of the camera angles. I wanted to have better Wi-Fi performance versus just caring about the internet uplink. I was pretty happy with how that turned out. So, yeah, I think that was fine. I didn't notice any problems at all with the 5G connection. Although now that I think about it, I didn't actually check that it was on 5G, but theoretically it would be because the SIM supports 5G. I didn't notice any problems with that at all. Yeah. I did notice on the bike ride stream last year that there are some parts of town that are just like blocked from the cell towers in just the right way that like they're dead spots. So you'll end up, if you're moving, your bandwidth can change quite a bit. All of my AirDrop is failing for some reason, and I don't understand why. I think what I'm gonna have to do is download this Hover Air app onto my iPad so that I can show the videos that way. Mark joined as a channel supporter. Thank you very much, Mark. Good to have you here. Make sure that you click into the membership area in YouTube and find the link to the Discord. It should begin there, and then you can join the members Discord. And once you connect your YouTube channel to Discord, then it'll open up all the access to all of the channels there. Matt says, on the roof and the boat, you use the Magewell over the Ultra. They may use the Ultra once. When I was looking what to get, I thought the Ultra was a better unit. Please discuss. Yeah, good question. So the reason that I did the roof stream with the Director Mini is because I was planning on using it for the boat. So that was one. That was the reason for using it on the roof. I was doing the trial run of, and that was also why I brought it to Vancouver. So I was basically doing a little trial run of the Director Mini because I knew I was planning on doing the stream on the boat with a Director Mini. The reason for using that over the Ultra is because three things. The Director Mini has the web interface to control it from a computer, so you can actually pull up a little computer screen control panel and do not everything in the Director Mini, but quite a lot of things, and it's pretty handy. The other thing is iPhone. There's a Director Mini iPhone app which can send a video stream into the Director Mini wirelessly if you're on Wi-Fi, and the Olobox Ultra doesn't have that. It has the remote guest feature, but that uses the internet, so I didn't want to require an internet connection. And so that's the other reason. So if you need phones as wireless cameras, then the Director Mini is the better option. And then the other, what's the third reason? I think there were three reasons. The third reason, well, it's smaller than the Ultra, which I guess wasn't really a huge factor, but I, 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 but it could matter. But for the boat, it wouldn't have mattered. So yeah, those are the main reasons. I guess the other thing is, I didn't end up doing this on the boat, but what I did do on the roof and in Vancouver is streaming my computer screen into the Director Mini, and it was easier doing that in the Director Mini versus the Ultra. So the big difference there between the Ultra and the Director Mini, though, is the number of HDMI inputs. So if I needed more HDMI inputs, then the Director Mini is not a good option because there's only two. Cool. Okay, let me get this connected back on. Access geolocation, access to Bluetooth.
Current mode. Zoom out.
How many phones as cameras can the Director Mini take? I don't actually know. I've only tried, I think I tried 2 at one point. Now I'm second guessing myself if I have, because I really only have like 2 spare phones. I should test that. I'm not 100% sure on that. On the boat, on the live, what was your energy consumption? So that Anchor battery that I had, it was down to like 80% by the end of the stream, which is pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, it is connecting. Bob says, how do you set up Director Mini Newscene SRT stream to work with the ATEM SRT? I can only connect by using Director Utility app set up for phone and then streaming ATEM to that URL. Oh, you know what? Emerald posted an answer to that earlier in the chat this morning. You can't, yeah, right. So you can't set up an SRT listener in the Director Mini. So it can only pull from something. So it doesn't work with the ATEM because the ATEM can't be a listener. So if you have a relay thing, then you can connect them that way. It's not great, obviously. But that's the problem. Davis says, Hover Air cannot live stream. In manual mode, the display cannot take up the entire screen. Does the crop on the yellow box work where you can live stream the Hover X1? Theoretically, that should work. Yeah, because I guess I can show you what the app looks like. That should be fine. I wonder if I can, oh, it's downloading, so I'm going to not interrupt it. Right. I can just show you on the iPad, I guess. Well, once the phone is finished downloading onto the iPad, I will try to boot it up. Andrew says, which angle do you think it worked best on the boat stream? Yeah, good question. Actually, I have a video to share about this. Where did I put it? I put it somewhere. I put it in, not there. I'll put it in, I think I have to download it from my editor. You can kind of see what I'm doing on my computer in the multi-view, although it's very blurry and washed out, which is actually good. But yeah, there we go, download these. So I had my editor pull together some highlights from, and let me turn off my computer audio since we don't need that anymore. Put together some samples of both of the angles from the boat stream. And so the two cameras were, one was the Pocket 3, DJI Pocket 3, which is not next to me. It's the one with a little gimbal head. So it's able to actually stabilize, right? Like stabilize. And then the other one was a GoPro, which does its own like optical internal digital stabilization rather than mechanical. turns out there's a huge difference in the way this ends up looking. So here, this is
The work.
I don't need the sound on for this. So this one was the Osmo Pocket, and notice that the landscape, the horizon line, is like pretty much locked, right? And you see the boat moving. The boat is rocking this way, but the horizon line is completely stable. And that's the mechanical gimbal doing the work there to stabilize it. Which, yeah, worked really well. And then the other one is the GoPro, which is this one, which you can see the horizons moving a lot more. Because this is like locked to the boat frame. You can see the boat wiggling a little bit, but that's just like the stabilization doing its work. But the horizon line's moving a lot more. And Emerald knows this, and I can't remember, but I think you can't use horizon lock, which is the GoPro feature, to like super stabilize it. I think you can't use that over HDMI out, only for recording. Correct me if I'm wrong though. So which one's better? This one definitely makes you feel more like you're on a boat because you see the landscape changing, but it's also a little bit more dizzying, I feel like, versus this one is like kind of fun to watch because you just see the boat moving. Yeah, I'm not sure which one is better. Let me know what you think. I'm curious. Looked better than the Olympic opening boat cameras. I couldn't watch the boat stream completely. Did it start later than expected? Yes, it did. It started later than expected, even after the expected later time. So, like, I had planned on going live at noon because our reservation started at 11 a.m. And then we ended up having to go back home and get a power adapter for the Director Mini. And that meant that we didn't end up starting until 1. So, yes, sorry if you couldn't watch it, but you can always go back. You can always go back and watch. Now that these finally downloaded, add to album, bridge pedal. On the Director Mini, there's a 3-phone camera limit. Okay, great. Thanks. GoPro was inducing some motion sickness for me. More stabilized optical, mechanical was better. Okay, cool. What's this in response to? Oh, there's a whole conversation happening. Matt says they added PTZ control to the Ultra. That's right. Yeah, that just came out. I use iPhone on the Ultra via NDI and it works fine. Yeah, that's true. Busy getting a house ready to sell, so I haven't tried the tail air yet, but will in September. Good luck with the house sale. That is one of my least favorite things to do. The tail air, I thought I had that thought after the stream. I was like, I should have brought the tail air with me on the boat because they have big built-in batteries. They last a long time, and I guess they're not like stabilized, so you wouldn't get stabilization even though they have a little PTZ head. But that could have been fun. So maybe next time I'll bring tail air. Matt says, I love the Pocket 3 and think the Pocket 3 footage is better video. I also agree that just the picture quality from the Pocket 3 looked better than the GoPro to me. Horizon lock is not the natural way you see when you're on a boat. That is true. But I do feel like it is more natural way to watch somebody else on a boat, if that makes sense. We should make a support request with Majorel to get the SRT listener option added. I agree. Okay, so I wanted to show you these other videos I got from the little hover air drone. I only did a couple. I ended up running into my parents on the bridge. They were doing the walk, which does a loop around, I guess, like 2 bridges. That was really funny. Did not expect to run into them. But I did a little drone selfie with them. I need to get better at figuring out how to. I guess I need to sit in the middle of the frame. This is what the little hover air does. That was the return flight. It first goes and does a recording, zipping. Oops, is that the same one? There we go. That's zipping away. And then it goes and it does another recording on the way back, which is pretty funny. Oh, weird. There's one missing. The long one is missing. That's annoying. Garden Frugal says, do you have a video or setup video for a mobile backpack setup to be able to live stream while mobile for IRL? Backpack on your back routers. No, I don't have the closest I've done to that is putting all the gear into a backpack, but I haven't done one where you're actually streaming from a backpack. I have done several bicycle rig overviews though, where I strap all the cameras and stuff to a bike and do a stream that way. If you search my live streams, you should probably find them. But and then like in the middle of the stream, I'll do like an overview of the rig. But no, I've not done a backpack video. Bob says, my ATEM SRT stream to a director utility phone listener is a way to get the ATEM stream into the director mini. I've never tried that. What does that mean? Director utility phone listener. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Please explain. Now I kind of want to try this. Somewhere in here, I have it. This is the benefit of all these drawers. By the way, what do you think of my new drawers back here? That's new. I finished those right before last week's stream, which was not from here. These are actually well organized. I have little sticker labels on the top, so you can't see them on camera, but I can see them looking down. And it's very nice. Having places for everything. Okay, I'm gonna plug this in, and we're gonna see what this is all about. Let me get this thing turned on, and we're gonna try to stream from an ATEM because I want to see how this works. And did that download? Weird, it's not downloading the right video when I download it from the app. Well, that's annoying. Download. Okay, so here we have the director mini, and if I, oh shoot, the date of the director mini is wrong again. So if I go, I should have a phone source in here. Yeah. So let's go. Oh, this is an interesting point. Bob says, Bob says the phone connection is SRT. Yeah. So I knew that. Start one and then use the URL from the ATEM. That is a good point. So if I'm, where is my, let me share my phone screen into this. Is this, I hadn't really thought about this, but yeah, when you go into the director utility app, what you see is, that's not right. Apparently my macro did not get, oh, because it's an actual macro. I have to fix this because this is too fun of a feature not to fix. So tangent sidebar. I need to go and first export all of my stuff out of my ATEM, and actually going to just export the macros. This is how I have to. This is how I'm editing a macro. So export the macros to XML, and then open the file I just created, and then somewhere in here I have the iPhone overlay macro. Yeah, and inside the macro, it sets one of the sources, camera 6, and I swapped my Apple TV over to camera 5. So I need to change that macro, and then I can restore this file, restore the macros, and now with any luck, when I push the button, we should get my phone. There we go. Yeah, so I hadn't really thought about this, but because I have already in the Director Mini, I've already gone and added a new phone camera. So not SRT stream. I added the phone camera. Create camera. We'll call this, let's call this ATEM. Create. No signal, right? It makes sense. So there's that. But let me see. Let me restart the director utility app. So this is what you see when you first launch the app. If you go to phone camera, then it's found the two phone cameras in the director mini, and they both have different SRT addresses. So theoretically, if I go into the ATEM control, I should be able to stream to that address that it's showing me, which would be very cool. So let's try that. I need to get my ATEM's multi-view onto the screen here. I need my ATEM over here, which should be here. ATEM SDI. No, output, that one. Matrix 2 should be ATEM SDI. There we go. And that's not a great layout. Let's go fix that. Let's make sure we know that what is actually showing on that. Let's do, I guess we will do a picture in picture so that we know it's something, and we'll use the other camera angle for that. So I've got the side view and the top view. You can barely see it in the tiny preview, but you'll see it in a second. So when I stream from this, let's go stream custom URL, server. So I'm going to type in what I see on my phone. SRT 10.11.70.2.9111. I guess no stream key. So let's hit start. Well, it did something. Oh my gosh, it worked. Look at this. Here we have the picture-in-picture layout I just did on the ATEM. This is coming from the ATEM Mini. So that's a cool trick. I can mess with the position of that picture-in-picture on the ATEM software control. And now you can see on the phone, it's even saying that the ATEM camera is in use. Well, that's a cool trick. That was a fun exercise. Thanks for the tip. Don't know why I didn't even think about doing that. So the SRT listener feature is already there. It's just not called SRT listener, and you can't find the stream details from the Director Mini. So that seems like a very easy fix for them. Basically go here when you press SRT stream, let this create the same thing that it creates when it makes a phone stream. Yeah, that's cool. Where was I? Where was I? Bob says, I've been using this workaround for the ATEM SRT to Director Mini for a couple of days with no problem. That's fantastic. Oh yeah, problem is that you can't adjust the delay and stuff. Didn't I see an option for when I created the phone camera? Create camera, advanced. Yeah, here's all the settings. Video bitrate, audio bitrate, frame rate, resolution, quality. Oh, there's no delay setting. Okay. Interesting. That's so cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, where was I? Michael says, oh, this is a good question. Does anybody know a good workflow software to generate a highlight reel during a live stream of an event that can be broadcast directly at the end of the stream? I'm pretty sure, and I see Andrew's already answered this. I'm pretty sure that the replay workflow that Resolve has is going to be the best way to do it. If you want to do highlights from a live stream as it happens, then you don't want to wait. You could wait until the stream is done, like do a full recording onto an SD card or something, and then like wait till it's done, hit end, and then go and edit that. But I think that's going to be too slow. What the replay workflow lets you do is while the live stream is going, you can be adding markers to interesting spots. And because the replay workflow requires what they call growing file support, which basically means that the file is written in a way that it can be played back while it's still being written, then you would actually be able to have somebody in Resolve going and creating little video clips during the stream as it's happening and actually exporting them as video clips. And after, if you want to play them, you could play them back from Resolve, like it was an instant replay, or you could just like export them to a video and put them onto an iPad or something and play them that way, or HyperDeck or whatever. That's probably the best way to do it. And the good news is that is, actually, is it in the free version of Resolve? I'm not 100% sure. Even if it's not in the free version of Resolve, $300 for the Resolve Studio is absolutely worth it. And then you need a network storage drive, but you can use the cheapest cloud pod and put a USB drive into it. And yeah, so that would be. I think that's the way to do it. If you're curious about that, though, I do have some live streams in the past that I did live demos of the Resolve replay feature. I don't think I have things quite set up enough. It might take too long to set up a demo of that now, because I do have to end shortly after an hour. Clear Life Media says, we've been doing that with our replay. Cut down the replay and go right to Instagram with the video. Awesome. Yeah. Garden Frugal says, have you ever live streamed from a plane? If not interested, I've got the plane in Hillsborough. Well, that sounds interesting. That sounds like a next good next step after the boat stream. Oh my God, that sounds really hard. That is definitely a challenge. Yeah, we should try to figure that out. I've never even been in a tiny plane. I've only been in like commercial planes. Eric says, I want to see drone footage from a moving airplane. Okay, that's definitely not allowed. That was like multiple mentions of that in all the study material and the regulations around drone flying. You are not allowed to operate a drone from another moving aircraft. Theoretically, you could chase a plane with a drone if the person running the drone is on the ground, because as long as the airplane is like in on it, as long as the pilot's in on it and like knows there's a drone around, there's nothing that says you can't fly near planes. It's just that you can't interfere with planes. So could coordinate a drone plane collab as long as the pilot is not moving. Can you land a drone on a plane? Technically, yes, because as long as the pilot's on the ground, the pilot's on the ground and the plane goes overhead, and then the pilot flies the drone into like an aircraft carrier, then it wouldn't be flying from the plane. And then as soon as it landed, it wouldn't be flying at all. Red Bull is calling, yes. That'd be fun. I do enjoy their stunts. You can strap a camera to the wing or tail of the plane. That's nearly as good as drone footage of the plane. I know, yeah, it is. It really is. Speaking of which, I actually had a comparison I wanted to show, and this is like the problem with the bike ride ending 30 minutes before my stream starts is that I have no time to prep all this footage. So this is going to be very rough. But I have the video from the Hover Air. Oh, Bob is making a good point. The plane should be above 500 feet and the drone under 400 feet. The plane has to be below 500 feet at some point when it comes into land. So as long as it's, basically you have to do it while the plane is landing. That sounds like a crazy stunt. I don't even think it would look that good. It just sounds like a crazy stunt. Will the drone have enough battery to wait for the takeoff? Yeah, probably not. Okay, so speaking of drones, this little guy, I should drop a link to this, by the way. Did I already make a link for it? I did. This little thing has been fun. They call it a self-flying camera, not a drone, which is funny because it absolutely is a drone. But anyway, that link is in the chat. And this little thing has a mode which is called dolly track, where it flies ahead of you and will track you and then just like try to stay the same distance away. So I did this when there was a pretty clear, pretty open area on the ride. Technically, because I have the remote ID, I can fly it over people, but it doesn't even get very high. So it would just run into people's heads probably. But anyway, I did try this, and I'm very curious. I haven't even watched this footage yet. This is flying. The drone is flying itself, and it's chasing. You can see how nervous I am about this little drone. The drone is flying itself, following me, and I'm trying to lead it away from people and away from the edge of the bridge. One person was like, "What is going on?" This to me looks like somebody could have been riding ahead of me with a camera or like an Insta360. This doesn't really feel like drone footage to me. So I may need to, like, it has a mode where you can get it up higher. But yeah, what do you think? This doesn't look like drone footage to me, which is a bummer because it absolutely is. And then over on this other camera, which I brought my Insta360 with me, which has the selfie stick, which oh, there's someone went by and I was like, okay, we're done. More bikes coming. And then that's the gesture to make it stop recording, which is pretty cool. Bob says, you're the only person I know who flies the hover air legally for YouTube use. Yes, I try. I'm also pretty impressed that it doesn't care at all that there's this little extra weight added. It looks like it could be Insta360 on a selfie stick mounted to your bike. Exactly. That was my thought. So what I did was, after that, I was like, you know what? Let me get my Insta360 out and record some video and see what that looks like. So let's see. Unfortunately, I think I have to export this because it's like 360 footage. So let me do this really quick. I guess I can do this. Oh man, I haven't thought about that show in a long time. Why did my screen mirroring stop, but it thinks it didn't stop? I want to watch Weeds again. That was hilarious. Yeah. Insta360 cams for the win and legal. Yeah, they're not flying, so you can do whatever. Where's my AirPlay screen mirroring? Everything about my Apple AirPlay AirDrop is all failing today. Oh well, I guess I don't get to show you me editing this live. That's okay. I just wanted to do a quick export in horizontal mode, making it look a little bit less like, let's just do a quick little track on me. Drag to pick subject. Okay, I'll let that do its thing. Eric says, don't forget to like and subscribe. Exactly. Thank you. Reboot fixes the problem. I should probably do that. Yeah. Okay, this is busy tracking me. It's like a long video, so it's going to take a while. If the camera angle is wider, I feel like that drone footage might be better. Maybe. I think it needs to be like doing things that you can't do with a camera on a stick. So like doing a full loop around me while moving would be cool, or like going way higher than I can go with a stick. Bob says the DJI Neo should replace the Hover Air X1 soon. I know. I have been following the rumors. Nobody has mentioned this in any of the write-ups, but this got leaked and now is like pretty much confirmed at this point because there's been enough other, where is it? Enough other people confirming it. But where's the photo of it? Nobody is talking about the thing that is actually amazing about it. Where is the picture of it? So, okay, so the reason I'm excited about the Hover Air in the first place is not just because it's like AI tracking, auto selfie or whatever, right? But the reason that I'm excited about it is because of how light it is. It is, where is the specs? 125 grams, and the remote ID module is like 12 grams or something, or 20 grams. So in total, it's like 140 grams. And if your drone is under 250 grams and has prop guards, no exposed propellers, and has remote ID, then you can fly over people. So there is currently no other drone that meets all those criteria, unless you start putting together like the little tiny FPVs with adding a GoPro or whatever. Although GoPros are not light, so I'm curious what the weight ends up being. But this is why I was interested in that. Okay, here is the leak of the box for the Neo. DJI Neo has no exposed propellers. It is tiny, like it's the size of the controller, and its weight is 135 grams also. So basically directly taking on the hover air. And people seem to be talking all about like the features and stuff, but what people are not mentioning is that this means, assuming it has remote ID in it, which I guess we should go look that up because it should be public by now if it is close to launch. If it has built-in remote ID, then that means this is out of the box legal to fly over people in the US. I should add that. That's an important caveat. Neo has FCC approval already. Let's go look it up. DJI, or not DJI, FAA remote ID. This Insta360 footage is still tracking me. Somewhere in here I have a bookmark to the page that lists all the remote ID. Shoot, I don't. FAA remote ID declarations of compliance. There it is. Very, very excellent URL. In here, if Mini 3 Pro, there's so many DJIs. Let's see. Let's search for Neo. Don't see it in here. So it may not have it, or may not be public yet. Okay, I hope it has remote ID in it, because that would mean out of the box. It'd be great. GoPro Hero 12 Black is 154 with the battery. Ooh, yeah. So you need a very, very light drone to keep that under 250. Okay, wow, where was I? May not be in the FAA database. It is approved for RF by the FCC, so it can be sold. Oh yeah, so the FCC approved it first, but then we still have to wait for. It's only going to be in the FAA database if it has remote ID, and that one that I just showed you, which it may not have remote ID because, yeah. But then all you do is you just stick a little thingy on top of it with Velcro, and it'll work. Okay. The Chad says, any updates from YouTube on how to get an SRT stream key, or is it just wait and hope it gets added to your channel? So far, right now, it's still just wait and hope it gets added. There's no, I haven't heard anything, and I have not heard any updates since it got added to mine. But I'm using it today still. Like all my streams, actually, since I started doing it, the first one where I actually like talked about it, every one since then has been SRT, including from the boat and the roof. All that was SRT to YouTube. Robert says, question, I'm working with a 2110 IP converter. I would like a recommendation for an appropriate router. Yeah, good question. Me too. So at the show floor at NAB, they had a Unify router in the rack with their 2110 stuff. And okay, this is done tracking me. Let's export that and then I can play it. So they need a Unify router. So, and all of my network gear here is already Unify. So I was like, cool. I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to like get the 10 gig switch that Unify has. And that is absolutely working for me. However, I have not quite figured out the right settings to have it not spew the VLAN traffic from 2110 over the rest of my network. So I have to block everything but 2110 from the uplink port, which is a little bit weird. So I haven't quite figured that out. If you're not trying to mix it with a network with other things, then you won't have that problem at all. But I'm trying to mix it with the rest of my home network, because eventually I'm going to have 10 gig at the main connection points between like the three points in the building. There's the one here, there's the network closet of the house, and then there's the network closet of our unit. Those are going to end up with 10 gig links between them. And I'm hoping I can send 2110 traffic over that. I theoretically, hopefully, I have run enough wires to have 2 wires between those, because I would like to have the 2110 traffic isolated to its own physical wire, and not the rest of the house traffic. Oh yeah, Circuit Baker says Unify has Pro AV profiles now, so might have one for 2110. It seems like, I'm guessing they're working with Blackmagic, because I feel like it'd be very unusual for Blackmagic to have another brand's hardware in the booth so prominently visible. Let's just say it that way. No network closet on the roof for roof streams. There actually is a little patch 14-inch box on the roof, not on the roof, but in the stairs to the roof, which is where a lot of the last minute wires I ran terminate, because I couldn't get them all the way down to the, well, I could have. I didn't want to run 4 more wires all the way down the 3 flights of stairs. So instead I ran them to a box in the wall that I am going to add a little, one of those little PoE powered Unify switches. I love those things. It's like 5 ports. 1 is PoE in, and the rest are network. And that'll be enough for the PoE plus plus in, PoE plus out. So it can power cameras from it. So I am, so that is, I cannot wait to start getting to the wiring of this house, because been just a lot of waiting. Oh my gosh. Okay. Where was I? We got to wrap this thing up, and I'm so far behind in the chat. I'm so sorry. We were talking about the flying a drone and a plane together. Matt says, I have a friend in the military, and he flies military drones, and for practice they track planes for practice. That is very cool. I think it'd be fun to chase a plane with a drone. Like go above the plane and chase it. I think that would look awesome. Oh my gosh, Karen, I'm so sorry. I did not see this earlier. We have an A10 Mini Extreme ISO at my local makerspace that we are setting up for video production. Can you recommend what we should get for the audio side? Video production, streaming, Zoom. What should you get for the audio side? I guess it depends on how much audio stuff you need, really. Because if you and what you're doing on Zoom, that's what it depends on. Because if you are just doing like, I'm sitting in front of a computer in a Zoom call and I'm just like, broadcasting my stuff into Zoom, you don't need very much complicated audio stuff. And the simplest way to do audio in that case is like run your mic into your camera sends the audio into the ATEM, and then it's just, you don't really have to think about it. If you want audio out from Zoom into the ATEM to record your Zoom guests, then it's more complicated. And the Rodecaster Duo or Rodecaster is a pretty good option, actually. It's pretty powerful. It has a lot of good of those like mix minus features. You can connect a phone over Bluetooth, that kind of stuff. I still don't even have one, and I should probably get my hands on one. I'm gonna make that happen, because so I do have the little Streamer X that they sent me a while ago, and even just with that, which is like not a full on audio mixer, even that is super powerful, and you can do some cool stuff. I do have a video on the channel about using the Streamer X with the Director Mini, which I know is not an ATEM, but it's actually, it can do similar things. Similar, not exactly the same, but yeah, it's really going to depend on what you need, what kind of audio stuff you're going to be doing. Mainly, are you just recording audio that's local, or are you trying to record remote audio also? And that can get very complicated. Emerald says, I have the Rodecaster Pro 2. It's some serious piece of kit. Yeah, it is. It is really great. This video is 65% exported. Then I'm going to show you, and then we're going to wrap up. Graham says, I remember you talking about the IP-based door entry system for your home. What did you settle on? Yeah, I did end up getting the Doorbird brand stuff. And it's so funny that it has been now sitting in a drawer for a year because I can't go plug it in yet. But I'm still pretty happy with the decision. They have not obsoleted their products a year later, like many other companies do. Even Unify comes out with stuff like so fast that whatever you buy is going to be, there's going to be something better next year. But I was able to even set up like a little VoIP cordless phone tying, like different brand tying into the door system, which is cool. So it'll ring and you can actually like talk to the person at the door from the cordless phone. Very 1990s. I love it. Yeah, so this content, this is going to be all over the House Files channel when I can start doing the wiring. Let me drop a link to that channel in the chat. There's no doorbell content on the channel yet, but yeah, that is where I'm going to do deep dives into setting it up and demo and all that kind of stuff. Doorbird has some cloud integration, but only for configuration. It also fully integrates with AVM Fritzbox routers. So the image from the camera shows on my DECT phones. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, the cloud integration, I'm skeptical of, but it doesn't use the cloud for the actual video or audio traffic. It's all local to the network. Vork says, which is the low latency video transmitter? There's definitely a couple options depending on how much money you want to spend. So I have the video about the RGB link little tiny dongles, which are good, but they're not the lowest latency, but they are the most affordable. At least most affordable for what I consider to be perfectly acceptable quality, versus some of the cheaper ones, which are not as good. But then you can go, if you want to spend several $100s, you can go into where are they? You can go into this kind of stuff. Like Axoon or Hollyland make these kinds of things. And these are very low latency, like milliseconds, not zero, but very low latency. These are much more expensive. And then these brands and a couple other brands have several $1,000 ones that get into the 1 or 2 frame latency. So how much do you want to spend is the answer. $97%. Garden Frugal says, if you want to chase the plane too, I'm your guy. Reach out to me. Okay, get in touch. I don't know if I can find your email just from this, but you can send me an email. My email is listed in my About tab on YouTube. That'd be fun. Maybe some plane shenanigans. Okay, this finally exported, but but now it's on the wrong phone. Do we think that AirDrop is going to work? To my iPad. Maybe it's the wrong iPad. It's a 6-minute video. Let's try screen sharing again. Nope. Gosh. Okay, we're rebooting my phone. That's what's happening. What's that? It's a weird sound. I did in the inside on a different intercom though. Got the AlphaGo ALP600. That didn't even turn up when I was searching. I wanted 100% no cloud. That is, oh, that's cool. I'm glad you found one. That one, interesting, didn't show up when I was looking around. There's a cool video on one of the bike channels on how they filmed the Tour de France. 2 planes, 2 helicopters, a drone, and lots of motorbikes. Yeah, that sounds like fun. Like this review says, let me rephrase. You used audio channel mapping on the for me to add camera audio to the program out. No, I don't. I just have one stereo mix in the ATEM that I use. Do I use AI assisted software for live streaming? I reckon the industry will require foot on the ground for foreseeable future. Do you have an insight for live streaming industry to look out in the AI space? I think one of the best things that AI can do for live streaming is auto switching cameras based on, like, for video podcasts, for example. It's something that's easy enough to do. AirDrop is now just doing it on its own. That's weird. But yeah, so with the Mix Effect app, I was able to do a pretty good job of auto cutting based on who's talking for a podcast. And with a little bit more inputs, which is what AI is, I feel like I could do a very good job. But it was already a good enough job with not even any AI, just basic audio monitoring. So I think that is something that could be very useful. We are going to try this one more time. Maybe that is the wrong iPad. That is the wrong iPad. There it goes. What's the best way to create super source animations? So Mix Effect is an iPad app, iOS app. Actually, it runs on Mac OS too now, which can do super source animations just like on the fly. It's probably the easiest, just because you can just create your different super source layouts, and when you change between them, it'll animate between them. If you want something a little bit more like scriptable or hard coded, there's, where is this? I feel like H2R has something for this. The layouts dot here to record. I thought this had a way to do animated animations. Yes, it does. So if you go here, you can download these packs of it, or you can just like create your own. But so this is like a visual creator for super source layouts, but then you can also do animations. So it's been a while since I've tried this. I need to go. I can't do a demo right now because I don't remember exactly how it works, but this would also work. But definitely easier is using Mix Effect. Safety Home says, did you get a chance to try the new AI podcast audio video switcher? It's called AutoCut and works alongside Premiere. Oh yeah. So if you don't need to do it live, then a lot of the video editors will have auto switching, so that you take all your video sources in and then it'll edit it down later. If you don't need to switch it live, this is a great option because if you don't like what it did, you can always go back and change it because you're just editing the video. You're just using it to speed up the edit. What I was talking about with using Mix Effect to do auto cutting means that the cuts are done in real time. So the nice thing about that is that there is no editing afterwards because your edit is done. It's live. So that's either if you're live streaming or if you're doing a recorded podcast live. But yeah, that's both of those are good. Maybe AirPlay will work now. How does it all hook up with Mix Effect, meaning Rodecaster and the ATEM, and if possible, OBS? I don't know what you're doing with OBS, but Mix Effect is a controller for the ATEM, so it is able to control the ATEM. That's it. Okay. AirPlay is working again. I can show you this video finally. Okay, so this video is oh, after all that, I had it track me and everything. Oh, there it goes. Okay. This is a video not from a drone. This is from the Insta360. So this was on the end of the stick, and you can kind of tell that I'm holding it because my hand's not like on the handlebar correctly. It's like this because I'm holding the stick. So this is not a drone, but it looks very similar to that last drone footage we watched because it's at about the same distance away from me. This is actually more stable because it's like literally by definition the same distance away from me the whole time. It's pretty fun riding on the highway. So yeah, there's that, and the other one is the actual drone, which is this. I was going a lot slower because the drone couldn't keep up with full speed. So what do you think? Actual drone or fake drone? I'm going a lot faster with the fake drone. Okay, we have to wrap this up. I need to get out of here. Last thing is vote on which of these two, fake drone, real drone, you like better. And then we're gonna wrap this up and see if my automations work. Given the binary choice, I go with fake drone. The long Insta360 stick usually works out better. Oh, true. Yeah, they have one that's like 10 feet long. I don't have that one. That's a lot harder to hold though when you're riding a bike because I had to grip the handlebar too. I prefer the actual drone more mostly because it's not fisheye. I tried to not fisheye it. That's the thing. I tried to. Yeah, it's super fisheye still. I can do a little bit more cropping in on this to make it a little bit less fisheye. At one point on this ride, these cars all got backed up and I was biking faster than the cars. Lower angle is better on the mini drone. Really? I thought like they weren't very different angles. Oh, I guess it is a little lower. This is like directly eye level and this one's higher. Well, that's my fault for holding the 360 camera up too high. AlphaGo is a German company that's not known outside of Germany. It has a lot of integrations for all kind of stuff. Doorbird is also a German company, which I find interesting. I wonder why these intercoms are all German. So fun biking on the highway. Yeah, it's super fisheye. I'll see if I can get another export out of the app. This was me doing this literally while streaming, so I will go edit that and see what we can do. Okay, that was fun. Thank you all for the questions. Thanks for the chat. Thanks for watching me ride bikes on the bridges this morning. Got 25 miles in this morning before the stream started, so that was pretty good. I saw a question from Michael earlier. What are the benefits of becoming a channel member? I'm so glad you asked. In addition to the occasional BTS stream, sometimes I do BTS of the main stream, although ever since I redid my desk, I haven't quite got that back up and running. I occasionally do BTS streams of just other stuff, of like setting up the rack or setting up gear, testing out stuff that's not the mainstream. Also, there is a Discord. So there is a Discord where you can chat throughout the week, share updates, ask questions. It's usually where I'm talking about what shenanigans I'm up to or other gear that I'm testing before the video's done. So those are some of the benefits of becoming a channel member. And thanks for asking. No, that is not San Francisco. It is Portland, Oregon. Matt says I prefer a real drone. I learned to capture skiers in a boat moving at 40 miles an hour as a learned process. Yes, I can imagine. It was a lot of fun flying the drone from the boat. It was also a learning curve there. Okay, great. Well, we're going to wrap this thing up and I'm going to go. Let's see if my credits work today. Yes, thank you to our extreme supporters of the channel, Larry, David, and Marcin. And thank you to all of the other channel members for your ongoing support. It's always nice to have you here in the chat and have you in the Discord. And yeah, we'll be back. We will not be back next week. I have to take next week off, unfortunately. We'll be back the week after that. So no stream next week. I don't think there's a way for me to do it. And it's okay. It's okay. I can take a day off in August. That's when everybody in Europe's on summer vacation anyway. So no stream next week. I'll be back the week after, and maybe I'll have some more of these bike clips edited by then, and we can do some more comparisons. This has been fun. I hope you all have a good rest of the day and get some drone practice in while you can. Like the stream. No stream next week. And goodbye, everybody. Like and subscribe. And thank you for sharing the bridge pedal. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for coming along on the ride with me. All right. I will see you all again later. Goodbye.